Something that most people don't know is that less than 2% of money globally is managed by women or people of color combined. How are we meant to be the architects of the world around us with the single system that influences everything when we represent less than 2% of the people that control that? And so, as an investor, the first thing that I would say that absolutely needs to be done, and this is, I don't know if this is controversial as much as it is just maybe unusual coming from an investor, but the number one thing that we as investors have to do, whether we are part of that less than 2% that are women or people of color or not, in fact, clearly the other 98% need to get in gear here. And that is that if you are an investor and you're in the world of finance, and especially if you're in my world and you purport to be, an impact investor, none of your investments have any chance of having a future with another 4 years of the current occupant in the White House. They just don't. So I would argue that the single best investment that anybody can make in 2020 is to put money into the elections in November. And there are ways of doing that. I happen to have chosen, there are multiple organizations, but I happen to have chosen the Movement Voter Project, who have moved close to $30 million into the elections, and they're targeting hopefully more than 50. But they are focused on investing not in campaigns, but in grassroots organizations led by people of color in places like Wisconsin, in places like Minnesota, in places like Illinois and Michigan, so that Black and brown grassroots organizations that are there 365 days a year, and they'll still be there after the elections have finished, to ensure that these elections go our way and that the next ones do as well. And so I would say that's the number one thing. And then beyond that,